There you go.
Cool.
Hi everybody. Today we're here with John Schweg. He owns Schweg Art Glass here in St. Louis, Missouri. And this is the gentleman who we have chosen to restore our beautiful art glass transom from our 127-year-old Victorian home here in St. Louis, Missouri. We're here in his studio, and today he's called us because our window is finished, and we're so excited and so proud. John, what can you tell me about the project? Tell me a little bit about what you had to go through to restore this window.
Well, when we first saw it in your house after the fire damage, it looked pretty daunting, a daunting task. You know, some people do not like to do these repairs and they refer other people.
I'm sure.
And it was a little daunting to look at it. It was, you know, caved in, a lot of broken pieces. Just to get it out, it was weak, so you had to make sure you get it out without making it worse, without anything else breaking or going too bad. So like you guys had that board ready to go, laid on the board, laid it flat, determined we needed a shorter board to get in the vehicle, transferred it to this board, brought it here, and then I had to really delve into it. There were some pieces completely missing, so I had to match the textures as best as possible, as best as I could. And so the middle pieces matched very well. The outer pieces matched close, but not perfectly well. And then the red pieces were really close to the same red, but not quite. So it took a lot of determining where the weak spots were, like some of these, you know, on both sides of the glass. So I had to strengthen one side first, and I repaired the glass pieces and replaced the ones that were missing on one side first. Get one side totally firmed up and strengthened with new solder here and there. Any of the joints that were, you know, busted, wherever there was a severance, to replace that lead in there, make it strong enough so then when I flipped it over, then I could repair the other side, especially where the pieces had been missing totally, because I had to replace that lead. It's a lead and tin mix solder. Replace that totally, and then also hit the same seams on the other side that needed reinforcing on this side. So that by the time I finished the second side doing that, it was really firm enough to handle better, and then to flip one side over the other without having to worry too much about it.
Yeah.
And as you guys determined, budget-wise, it was okay to leave some cracked pieces. So there are some cracked pieces still in here, because to redo what was needed, it would have been close to, some shops would have easily charged you $2,300. It was almost like a total redo, because it was pretty compromised with the lead and the weakness.
Yeah, it was very weak.
But redoing some of the lead here and there and the solder, firmed it up, certainly enough to put it back in place, and it's got a story to tell for sure.
Absolutely.
With the broken pieces still, like these, one here, one here, one here a little bit, this one over here, this little fracture here that began with that heat. So we're hoping that doesn't go anywhere in your transom with heat and cold, hot in summer, you know, hot in summer and cold in winter. Maybe that'll never move, we don't know. If it does, it'll probably move straight down or maybe in toward the lead, so it won't really compromise the strength of it.
That's good.
So it's a lot better than it was. Not perfect, it's still got that character of the fire because of some of the cracked pieces, but it'll certainly last a long, long time.
It looks great. We're really thrilled with it. We're thrilled to have it back intact and just pretty much as it was before the fire. And as you know, we discussed the other day when we were here, just another chapter in its history. Just a little bit more character for the house to tell. So
yeah,
we love it. We're so thrilled that you took on the project. We are really grateful.
I really
Absolutely.
appreciate the business, and
Very grateful.
And the two small pieces that we did, that you already took back home, there was a piece of wood molding for the folks on the video here to see. There were three pieces. This is the main transom above the front door, and then above the side lights, there are corresponding pieces, small pieces on each side of the transom with molding in between. So there were three distinct pieces, this being the largest. So the other two at the ends were damaged somewhat, but most of the fire had come up the door, the main center part of the porch and the roof there. So the two end pieces weren't as bad, but one had 3 broken pieces, one had 2, and they still had some of that melted lead to deal with.
Yes.
So some weakness, but thankfully they were in pretty good shape,
Yeah.
considering.
Absolutely, they certainly fared better than this one.
Yeah, it turned out a lot better.
And John, you told us also that you do original creations for other homeowners and commercial buildings as well.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, Helen. I love doing custom pieces, and I mostly do residential. I do some church work and some commercial work. I've worked with Fox Theater,
Ooh,
some repairs in
exciting.
their ceiling. When they redid all the lights in the theater, 1,600 lights to LED, they brought down a section of 4 over here, amber and red. It almost looked like shamrock patterns. So if you ever go there, you can look up and see. They were weak, but I had to strengthen them before they put them back up because they were too weak. And St. Stanislaus Church, the ceiling, part of the glass came down 70 feet to the marble floor. So they had me redo that. It was a very interesting project. I had to make sure I was very safe up there. But I love doing residential transoms, front doors, side lights. When you think about an entranceway, it's first impressions. People come to the house and say, wow, this is what I mean. Really cool. Whether it's real modern or old-fashioned type design. And kitchen cabinet door glass where they take the wood out and they put some kind of stained glass or clear textured glass, depending if they want privacy. They don't want you to see the dishes, or they don't mind you seeing the dishes. Maybe just all plain one texture, one sheet, or design maybe a fleur-de-lis with some other textures in there. Bathroom windows to privatize, especially if there's a neighbor nearby. They can see him.
That's great.
All kinds of windows on the stairway of homes, a lot of Central West homes, you go up the stairway, and like yours, you have one like that,
Yes.
your stairway landing.
Yes,
And so those are really common to do too.
that's great.
So I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I
That's
come down
wonderful.
my basement workshop, and I go to play, not to go to work.
That's
So,
amazing.
It's great.
Looks like you've had your hand all over the city.
It's really fascinating. I can go down the street and say, oh, and I just remember, oh, right.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
I did that front door.
That's great. That's great.
Really neat.
That's awesome. Well, we are going to include John's contact information at the end of this video. So anyone who needs any stained glass work, whether it's a new creation, custom made by John, or if you have a restoration project, please feel free to give him a call. He's an awesome person. It's wonderful to work with. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you, Kevin.
We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it too.
We're so glad that you now have a part of the story in our
Thank you very
home's
much.
history.